Hey guys, Jenny here, back with another video, and today we're going to be doing another episode of the Card Advantage. And today we're going to be going over the green, the Gruul, and the Golgari rares. And our first rare we have is Renegade Crassus. Some people call this guy the Evolve Lord. So he's currently at $1, and basically what he does every time he evolves, you put a 1/1 counter on each other creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it. So it's sort of like group evolve. Um, this guy I don't think is good enough for constructed since there aren't enough creatures in constructed with 1/1 counters on them, and especially after rotation, this guy isn't like that good. You have to evolve him for him to be good and like pump your team. Like a 3 mana 3/2 isn't good enough for standard, so I think he'll definitely go down in price. I also think he's not good for casual card. He's not legendary, so he can't be used as a general in EDH, which honestly he'd be a pretty sweet general in EDH, but he can't, so that's out of there. So yeah, I think this guy will go down 50 cents probably in the future. So yeah. And next we have Skylasher, and I think this guy is one of the undervalued rares in Dragon's Maze. He's currently at $4, and I think he'll either stay there or go up by a little bit. Um, People are complaining a lot because it's really good against Delver, but Delver isn't really that good in Standard anymore. But the thing is, Delver is really good in Modern, and this is good not against just a Delver, but any blue flyer. And in my opinion, like there's going to be more dangerous blue flyers in the future, like whether it be M14 or a Theros block. This guy's going to be good against protecting or just like surprise blocking a ton of things. It can't be countered, and his reach and his protection from blue. So it's good against any blue threat, pretty much. Um, and there are sure to be lots of blue threats with the release of each set. So I think this is always going to be good. I think it's even good enough for Modern as a sideboard card. It's like Rug Delver or just any sort of Delver deck or um, even like Geist. Like you just flash this in, like if no creatures, you flash this in when they attack with Geist. You surprise block Geist. You still take 4, but like this guy lives. I don't know. He seems like really powerful and sort of undervalued right now. So I would hold on to these guys for right now. And next we have the our first split card. We have Flesh and Blood. This guy's currently at 150. I think we'll probably stay around there. Um, the Flesh half this is like really bad for standard or constructed at least. It doesn't really do anything. It's pretty much scavenged, but you have to pay 5 mana for it. And then the Blood is basically like a one-sided fight mechanic, but you could also deal the damage to a player, so it's even better, the one-sided fight mechanic, so it's ridiculously good and limited. I don't think it'll be good enough for constructed, but I might be wrong. If it is, it'll be like a sideboard card. Um, and also, the blood side looks very familiar to the famous alien scenes, something popping out of this guy's chest. And yeah, so another place where this seems really good in is Crush EDH. Won't really raise the price of it at all, but like scavenge, both halves of this are really good in Crush EDH. Like you scavenge onto Crush or scavenge onto a really big guy, which is good with Crush. You can sack the big guy, put more counters on Crush, and then Blood is also really good. Crush is really huge, and you just like insta kill your opponent with the Blood side. So if you guys aren't running any Crush EDH cards, or if you're running a Crush EDH deck, I would consider putting this guy in. Next we have Rurik Thar, the Unbowed. This is currently at $5. Might be a little lower actually right now, but I think he'll stay around $5, a little bit more than that. Um, he was the first card spoiled in Dragon's Maze, and I think people sort of just put him under the bus. You know, as all other cards are being spoiled, and sort of forgot about him. But I think in the future he'll be pretty powerful. He's amazing against any sort of control deck. At worst, he pays 6 mana, and they have to deal with them, and they take 6 damage no matter what. Um, the only downside is he attacks each turn, which isn't that much of a downside since there's not much that you're not going to want to attack with since he has vigilance. Like there's pretty much no scenario where you're not going to want to attack with him, so that's not really that much of a downside. And he has reach, which is good against like flyers, obviously. So yeah, I think it's powerful enough for constructed, and I think he'll find a home. I don't think he has a home right now, but I think once M14 comes out or Theros comes out, this guy will see a home in some sort of like green, red, or Naya mid-range deck or something. So this is the top end. He seems really powerful. So yeah, I think this guy is pretty good. Next we have Savage Born Hydra, which is the fattiest of all the fatties. Um, an awesome casual card. He's currently at $8, and he will definitely go down in value. Um, he's double striking Hydra, where you can change its power and toughness based on how much mana you sink into it. What's really unique about this Hydra is that you could like sink more mana into it after you've played it. So that's very powerful. But it's definitely not good enough for constructed. It's an amazing limited card. You take this windmill slam, this first pick, and limit it all the time, but it definitely won't be worth $8 in the future. Next we have Zerta Ancient, and this guy's interesting. He does a very powerful effect where he doubles both players' mana. He's also 7/5 for 5, which is very powerful. But the thing is, you want to play this guy when you have mana open. Because if you play this guy when you have 5 mana and you tap out, then your opponent gets to use its effect first. So you're doubling your opponent's mana before you're doubling your own mana, which is very weak. Because they can just like play something and then kill it, which is awful. Like if that happens, you just feel like the worst person ever. So it's too much of like a group hug card where it affects your opponents like almost more than it affects you, since they get to use it first. So I don't think it's that powerful. It's currently at 50 cents. It'll stay there since it's not very powerful. If anything, it'll be played as some sort of group hug, like Uber Mana Accelerate EDH, where it might actually help you if your opponents don't get to kill it first. But yeah, I think this guy is not too good. And next we have Deadbridge Chant. This is a very unique card. It's a 6 mana enchantment that mills you, and then at random you get a creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. It's $8 currently, and I think it'll definitely go down. Random effects have never been good for you. Like discarding at random is always good, like for you when you're making your opponent discard at random. Discarding at random is really bad, and basically any effect that happens at random has never been powerful. The only place I see this being good in is like a Carador EDH deck, since 6 mana like is very doable in EDH. So whereas in standard, like 6 mana has to like do something very, very powerful, and this doesn't do enough in standard. But in EDH, I think this is pretty awesome. Next, we have Gaze of Granite. So this is a very similar to Pernicious Deed card, except it's a sorcery. You have to pay all the mana at the same time. But in that, it's very much worse than Pernicious Deed, since you have to pay like the cost of Pernicious Deed plus the X all at the same time, which makes it significantly worse. It's currently at $4. I think it'll stay there though, since it's very good against like Ban Hexproof, which is a pretty good deck in standard right now. For Junk Reanimator, this is an awesome like sideboard card against Ban Hexproof. Just for like Junk Reanimator, which is another really good deck in standard, this is just an awesome sweeper to have. Since that deck doesn't have that many sweepers. So I think it's a very powerful card. It's definitely not as powerful as Pernicious Steed, but I think it'll stay around $4. Especially if hexproof creatures are in Theros, they'll definitely see more play. And lastly, we have Viral's the Scar Stripe, which has the most hard to pronounce name ever. This guy's awesome. He's one of the maze runners, the Golgari maze runner. He gives all your creatures in your graveyard scavenge, which is insane. And you could sacrifice a creature to regenerate him, which all trolls have some sort of regenerate ability, if you're not that familiar with Magic trolls. So both those abilities are awesome since they synergize together. Like you sack a guy, then you could scavenge it the next turn, make him bigger. Sack another guy, it's hard to deal with. It keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's currently at $5. I think it'll stay there for 2 reasons. One, it might see play in standard, but you have to build around it is the thing. But the second reason is that it's an amazing casual card. Again, Crush EDH, this guy is stupidly awesome. It's an awesome build around me as a general. Like everyone who saw this card who plays EDH instantly wanted me to Viral's EDH deck, since this seems like the coolest thing ever. But yeah, I think this guy is an awesome casual card. He might even see constructed play, but it needs some build around me cards. But yeah, I think this guy will stay where he is. So yeah, that is this episode of the Card Advantage, and I hope you guys enjoy it. As always, leave a like or comment, and have a great day.